Hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Fun Infinite Blessings. I am Hope Mama Eagle, founder of Earth Wisdom Reiki, aka Ancestral Reiki. And I just wanted to come on today, happy hump day, by the way, and give y'all a little something to help you get over the hump. A lot of people have been contacting me today feeling a little bit cattywampus, backwards, out of sorts, whatever word you want to plug in there, myself included. And, sometimes that has to do with energetic resets, which is what we're going through right now. Lots of people shifting from 3D to 4D to 5D. Some people, like myself, are figuring out they're allergic to muggles and drama. Ha ha ha. But what's happening is we're having a shift going from Aquarius into the Pisces moon, getting ready for the Pisces new moon on Saturday. I really hear not only get in where you fit in, but, don't be ashamed to rest. There's a difference between being depressed and needing deep rest to sort through things and recharging our batteries. Just like this cell phone culture that we're in right now, when our phone starts to lose charge, we plug it in, we let it recharge, and we go on about what we need to do. You can also talk with an Aries if you'd like. I'm laughing because my amazing student just stopped by. She's an Aries, and cheered me up like nobody's business, and vice versa. So if you have an Aries, reach out to them. You have an Aquarius, reach out to them too. Taurus is in that mix too. So, but the people that lift you up, you know who they are. There's people that bring you down. There's people that lift you up, and first, recharge your batteries. That way you're not dumping your stuff on someone else. But, don't be afraid to reach out to true friends. Ohana is Ahana. That means no one gets left behind or forgotten. These cards look good. We're starting with the Nine of Fire, which can feel a little bit like the Wounded Warrior, but definitely shows us where our true inner strength is. Son of Water could be a youngster that is a water sign, which would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It can also be looking at the inner child, looking at if you're masculine, we have masculine, feminine within ourselves. I feel like I'm hearing the term tomboy energy. That there's a feminine watching this who kind of grew up as a tomboy, which was me. I used to get in trouble for arm wrestling people at recess. You wouldn't know it now, but I did. So some people had kind of that tomboy energy. There wasn't a whole lot of dialogue going on back then like there is now. Son of Water can also represent just emotion. I'm seeing that full moon in the background, and it's got me thinking of not just the energies that are coming up with this new moon on Saturday, but also with the coming full moon. So that tells me that new moon going into that full moon is Easter, which is new beginnings. It's also St. Patrick's Day is in there. So rainbow energy, rainbow blessings. But there's something that's going to be, I hear the term revamping, accelerating between this new moon and the next full moon, bringing us from water into fire. Now, the interesting thing is on one side of the Son of Water, you've got the Nine of Fire. On the other side, you have the Ten of Fire. And it looks like oppression, it looks like a desert. You've got a skull, you've got the sun setting in the background, but to indigenous cultures, the sun also represents our ancestors. And so, instead of looking at it as an ominous sign, it's looking at it as a chance to invite your ancestors in to carry the burdens that are no longer yours to carry. I hear the term breaking the arrow, which means ending a conflict. Back in the day, if there was a conflict, they would break the arrow in half and bury it as a sign that the conflict was now done and buried. Hechet it means it is done. It's resolved. Because 10 is the wheel of fortune. So, what's coming to mind is, a lot of spiritual people right now are finding themselves being challenged, especially with all the unnatural elements that are being um, proposed as mandates. We all know that mandatory anything tends to take a tinkle on sacred liberties, on women's rights, everything in that category. So, people are really being called to get back in touch with their ancestors, to realize what got them through the hardest times when other not so wise issues were trying to be pushed on them as well. So, I would take that fire in the sun as something to rekindle the passion to connect with your ancestors, not just researching the history that was written in the history book, since we all know that history is written by the one who survives the war. And just because you survive something long enough to write doesn't necessarily mean that you fought in an honorable way. So the best history is always the connection with your heart, the connection with the earth. If you say a prayer and invite your honorable ancestors to help you to understand what you need, they'll help you to understand in a good way. And, to confirm that, you're going from the 10 of fire, which goes to a 1 as fresh starts and new beginnings, into the medicine woman. And again, it's energies, masculine, feminine. But here you're showing that the medicine woman is connecting with the hawk or the eagle, and that is allowing that wisdom to flow through her. My grandpa used to say that healers are like hollow bones. The only time that we get sick is when we have wisdom flowing through us that's meant to be shared in a good way, and we're holding on to it. So if you start to feel yourself, your energy dropping, ask yourself what it is that you're being shown to share with others that you might be holding on to out of fear or doubt or anything like that. And, maybe just write it down on a piece of paper for now, and read it and feel it out, see how it feels to you. But if it's a poem or something like that that you feel can help others, there's it always good to share in a good way, because what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And then we're rounding out this reading with the spiritual warrior. So you started as the wounded warrior, you're wrapping it up as the spiritual warrior. So that's somebody who has looked back on their past, instead of seeing the things that brought them down, seeing the things that lifted them up, knowing that no matter how much opposition tries to stand in their way, defame their character, destroy them, etc., the sacred will always protect and elevate them above and beyond, in ways that hopefully, help the oppressors to grow up and show up at some point too. So these cards look really good, and the majority of the people that have been contacting me today feeling like their energy was low, or feeling confusion or feeling oppressed, that kind of thing, this really makes sense. So I'm glad that the ancestors were able to pass this message through. And anytime we need them, we just put our feet on the earth, we put our left hand on our heart, and we just listen. You can feel them in the wind, you can feel them in the rain, you can see them in a baby's smile. They're always just a heartbeat within reach when we ask from our heart in a good way. So, thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing and leaving your kind words down below. If there is any kind of reading you'd like me to see do here on this channel, more than happy to do that. Like I said, the minute you guys click on this channel, you're Ohana or Tios Baye. That's family. It means no one gets left behind or forgotten. So no matter what else is going on in your life, when you come onto this sacred space, you're welcomed, you're loved, you're accepted, you're appreciated, and you're celebrated. So whatever I can do to help make this channel even more supportive for you, let me know. The best way to reach me is via my website, which is infiniteblessings.godaddysites.com. So until we connect again, holding y'all and your loved ones in my prayers, and enjoy the journey.